Hello friends, today we will be learning ETL process, basic concept of ETL process. We will be using SQL Server 2017. Let us get started and let me explain you a little bit about what is ETL. ETL is a process of data cleansing or data loading or data, any operation can be performed on the data. So there are three stages. First stage is to get data from the source. Source can be anything. I mean, in the world, whatever is possible. And then in the middle stage is transformation of data. If there is some kind of irregularities or there are some kind of incompatibilities with the final data warehouse or final data target, then we will transform it in the second stage, which is transformation stage. After transformation, then we will be loading to the data into the target. That is called loading stage. So let us get started. I have one simple example that we will be using one text file that has some data. Here is a text file, cars.csv, and in the first line we have. Let me increase the size a little bit. So font wise, I will give you little better, a little better view of this data. So data is every line has a comma separation, right? But look at this one. This seems to be, this looks like a CSV file. Yeah, that is CSV anyways, because CSV means comma separated values. But point here is that in this data that we have got from somewhere, this data doesn't have any representation of the column types, right? For example, column 1 is a name, what we call make, then column 2 is a model, and column 3 is the type, 4 is origin, and drivetrain, what type of the transformation, data, no, what type of the transmission is used in that one, like it can be front wheel drive, it can be rear wheel drive, it can be 4x4. So all these things are available in here, but one limitation is there, that in this cars.csv file we do not have delimiters on the type of data. For example, if there is a string, then it should have double quotations again around it, but it doesn't have it. So we will see how much is our target, capable of decoding all these things, and how much we can assist to help, assist to get the data into the target. We will be using target one table as a target. So I mean, there are many other processes that we can use for data mart, data lake, data warehouse, or whatever. But for now, let us consider simplest operation. So each line defines one car, and this is the length in, I think this is length in inches or centimeters. Say it should be centimeters, right? So the length of the vehicle, right? So that is length, right? So let us get started how we do it in our SQL server. In this one, in here, I have installed in this server, I have installed SQL Server 2017. So SQL Server 27, I installed only the server, not the client or other things. But for this demonstration, I need to install. I had to install data tools, SQL Server data tools. So let us get started. SQL Server data tools is a part of Visual Studio. So SQL Server data tools is same as Visual Studio. I would first of all, I would try to show you what we have there. Like let us try to connect to our database, and in the database we do not have anything yet. We need to create a database because we installed the server only, right? But when we install a server, the default database is not created by itself. It has master database in SQL Server. That is the way SQL Server is set up. But master database is never used. So point here is that we will do everything right from the beginning, and this will help you understand how the data flows through various steps, and that is base of basic understanding of how ETL works, right? So let us see the server explorer, what we have here, and let me see if we are connected to, or any connection that we need to create. Let it let it take some time to try to connect to whatever. But so there is nothing. It might be that earlier we might have, I will read this one even, right? Maybe earlier I might have tried to do something, but let us assume that we have a fresh server, but on fresh server we do not have any client, we do not have SSMS. But if you are comfortable with the command line tools, then we will go for CMD, and then there will be SQL CMD. On the local server it works quicker, right? You don't need to do much, right? So we can do that also, but let us go through SQL Server Data Tools, which are part of Microsoft Visual Studio. Just in case you wonder that, okay, well, this is a little more towards the development team, and there are many developers who will be happy to see this one. But just in case there is any complication, there is any confusion, you can install community version, right? Community version is good enough, right? Minimum, I mean, even don't install any formats or any templates or whatever, just simple plain without any language or whatever. Install Visual Studio. But the way I installed is I had a standalone SSDT which includes a minimum version of SQL Server. So let me start doing things here. Let us connect to the database. So add connection. So in my setup here, dot is usually known as dot is usually known as local server. So I will go for, see, we have 4 databases. Master database is there, model database is MSDB, and temp DB. So but what we need to go for test. We need to go to create our own database, and we will do something in the create a table in that one, and then we'll bring the data from the data file to from load from data type file through extract, and then in transformation, if there is any column which is not being adjusted by the server, we will do that also, right? So let us ask for test database. Test database, you give any name. Because we don't have that database. I know we don't have that database, but we will give it like, see, when you type dot here and then you drop down, you see the database names here, right? It means it is finding it. I mean, client is finding it, and that those databases are there. But the one that we don't have here, we can create a table in a test database. Like I will type test here, and then I will say okay. Then it will go and check and find, oh, there is no database. It will tell me, and I will tell it to create it, right? So let us wait for it. It should not take that much time, right? Okay. So database test does not exist, or you do not have access. So what it says, that either you don't have access or that database is not there. So I would say that's okay. Like, would you like to create it? Yes, I want to create it. So test database will be created, and then you can expand and see you are under SQL when test.dbo. DBO is a schema usually, right? So what you will do, basically, you don't have table here, right? So we need to create table. There are different ways, like people who are doing the development in database or development in SQL Server kind of thing. Those developers know many ways, but for your simplicity, I would say just go on this database, right click, and open a new query, right? When you open a new query, it is similar to the SSMS, not a big deal, not a big difference, right? I would say that I have a code here. Create your you can create your yes table here, paste it here, and then you will run it from here. Run, and the command completed successfully. You got the table already, right? So what you have now, you have the table even, right? But the data is in the I will close this query because I don't need to save it. That is fine. In Server Explorer, in the table, we will be finding that one. Refresh. We will be finding cars table. So cars table is, you can check the table data or whatever. You don't have any data, so it will be null, right? So that is fine. Let me start doing now ETL. From ETL part, this was just creating a simple what we call is simple structure where we are going to put the data in from the file. So from the file, we will go and create a new project, which is a SQL Server. No, this is business intelligence integration services. We have a integration services project, which is integration services project number 2. So I will go and create it, right? So when we create it, then there are see in the in your what we call it kind of canvas, you have a control flow. For the control flow, we will go for data flow, right? So data flow is the one that is one group that we will do, and like sometimes we have to do multiple batches here before we start the real work, right? But in this one we have only data flow. In the data flow task, you go that data flow tab. In the data flow tab, you have a source. We want source assistant. You can use source assistant, or you can get the source file directly to save some time, because we know what we are going to do, right? So we have other sources, and then go to flat file source. Okay, bring it here, and when you are here, you can configure it right now if you want to, or you can put all the components together and then start configuring it. So flat file connection manager, how do we connect what is the definition of connection? I mean, what kind of file is there where it lives, right? It is living somewhere in my documents folder, so we will go to document folder. And then, because it's not showing here, why? Because the file, it is looking for text file, but we have CSV file. So CSV file car is there. I load it, and then see it detects itself, but you are supposed to tell the program that like we have a column names in the top rows, right? So these are the columns, and on the advanced tab you see this one string is DTSTR, right? So, but maybe it is okay, but what, like, let me tell you two ways to do the things. Right now, we have got the source setup already, so source is good, right? So if the source is good, you will see the source very clear. There is no sign, there is no logo, or there is no what we call is alert icon on the end of the name, right? So flat file source, you can rename it. Okay, tell me my input cars dot CSV. So this is your name. So you can why it is not allowing us cars, and this is, we don't allow CSV. It's up to you guys, are boss. So yeah, let CSV whatever you want to. I am okay. So yeah, with this one, then what we do, we need to put this data into the table. So into the table, there are two things. Like, first, try if it goes directly, right? Whatever the structure is in the file, because I know the file doesn't have the double quotation, it doesn't have the indication of integer or whatever, right? So in that kind of file, if the data is brought in, then there is no way for the database engine to segregate the data types and give the data types properties, right? So you will have to either do that way, or first thing you will try, just go ahead and try. What we can do, if that doesn't work, then we will delete the target, and then we create the target again. So what we will do, I will bring the destination database destination component here, and we will go and check that which is the one we are going to use. So let us try this way. New source, right? We have new source. Oh yeah, there is it detects itself, right? So we have this one. So in this one, we want to what is server name? Why? Okay, so let me refresh server name. So I don't know why it should have it had detected already, right? So yeah, let us see what it tells us, right? So server name is my host name one, right? Same, okay, host name, and then we can be use Windows authentication, that is fine. Select or enter the database name. Now if it has found this one, it will find the database anyways. We have test database, and then we can test the connection is good, right? So we are good here up to here, and then we will save this one. Okay, this is my source database. Now where we gonna put the we can put the data into which table? So there is a cars table only, because in test database there is only cars table. So we will say okay. Now okay, see, there is a sign. Okay, what it says: input column for the OLEDB destination. See this icon, that's what I was saying, like in the flat file you don't see anything there, but here you have a red icon there, which red icon is it says that OLBDB destination cannot be 0. So destination OLBDB, what it says, let me see. Input number of input columns. Okay, well we did not define the columns, so actually we were supposed to why oh, no, like input means it says that when you are editing this one, you need to connect it so that it can see that what type of columns are coming in, right? So now we have a connection manager, then we have to do the mappings, right? So mapping it will automatically be doing, right? So there should not be any problem because those column names are just going through. We are not doing any transformation, so you don't see any sign here, right? Just in case it works, you're first understanding that okay, you pull the data from the table, text file, and SQL Server has no problem understanding what type of this one is, right? So we will see how it goes. So let us try to start it, right? So if it goes fine, it goes fine, right? So package completed. This one data red is good. I mean in the source component is good, and then the target component is also good. And it is giving you the number here. See, it is saying 428 rows here, right? It is giving you the number here. See, so that means our first ETL, what we call is the first ETL process has been completed. And let us go to command line and see data. Okay, well we can see the data from here also. I am not very much comfortable with the see, I'm not developer, I come from the data engineering side. So let us check the data from the command line. If the data is good, then we are good, right? But you know what, actually officially there's supposed to be one stage here, and I will try to show you that one, how that one works, right? That there should be one transformation. There are a multitude of transformation components that we can use, but I will use the simplest one. So let me show you, because my data flow tells me that there has been 428 rows from the file, and that has been submitted to the database. There is no error, no warning, right? I'm stopping it now because it was running in debug mode. So now I'm going to command. I'm more comfortable on command line, right? So let me tell you that this is let me increase the size so that you can see it better, right? Font, I would say 20 is good, right? It should be good, right? Okay, now I would say that SQLCMD, right? I would say that how many rows are there? So minus S means my server, and my server is local, right? I don't have to give it when it is local, right? So I would say my D is database name is a test, right? Okay, well, extension is not required for a test database. Test database, and my query is Q, right? So I would say select count, from cars, CARS. Cars is my table name, right? So I will go and correct this this syntax, right? Okay, so yeah, it has 428. So I can get that data also if we want to see the data. But again, the data is like lengthwise, it's passing the screen is bigger than the screen row size. So like, well, that's fine. So we are good with this one. Now what will happen if we do it again one more time, right? But before we do it again in one more time, I want to show you one which is which I was saying that okay, we are supposed to have 3 components to understand very well. Understand very well means okay, well, what, you can arrange it anyways here, that is not a big deal. But there is a transformation in the middle. There should be some transformation. So what we will do, actually what I have done, because SQL Server itself is a smart database, and it has converted whatever has been converted, because when we were creating the database table, then we had put the type of the what we call it, length parameter is integer, right? So it converted from the string to integer by itself. If there is one error it cannot do, then it will give an error to, telling us that there was no conversion possible. If there is no conversion possible, then it will need our help to do the conversion. We will do the data conversion just for our testing, or just for our experimentation, right? Let me get what we call data conversion. So this is data conversion component, right? So I am going to delete it. See, I'm deleting this link, and now I'm putting this here in between, right? So what going to happen is data is going to come to conversion component first, and from conversion component it will go to the destination. So data conversion, what it will do, it will convert the one of the column by itself. By itself means this component will give some contribution in correcting the data. So let us see what we can do here. I would be like more comfortable on the advanced columns here. See, look at this one. The input columns are there, and then output columns are there, right? So is there any input column? No. Is there any output column? No. So there is nothing to do. So let us go back, check what we want to do then. Input columns. So what we want to do, actually what we want to do, this input, my point is that input, when we are using this column, when we are using this component, what we are intending to do, what we want to do, I mean, that is our intention, right? So everything's good because name is string, make is string, model is string. If you want to do some uppercase, lowercase, or you are inserting anything from your own pocket, then then you can use that one. But I am only concerned about this one. So this one is only length and output. When like input coming from the file, it is called length, and output going into the database, it is called length. So let me change this one a little bit. So what I will do is this column is only, this column is picking up. We are picking up only this column. Other columns are going through as it is, right? They are passing through, right? So going there. So we will see what is length. Okay, length inside is good. The length outside. So we have not actually. Okay, so output, conversion output. So length is good. And how we do it? Okay, from here, length, output alias, we will change it, right? So from the output columns, we will from length, how we do it? I mean, so if this is okay, then okay, no, it is not complete. So we are going to change it. Input columns are good. Then output columns, error data flow task, right? So output columns are, we are going to add output. No, it's not taking it. Add column, right? So yes, output column, we are going to say length. So same name, or we have to give the different name as a length length. I would say fixed length, FIXED, fixed length, right? Okay, so okay, so we are adding column or removing column. Let me. So actually, this is not the interface that I'm using, add column, output column, or yeah, we can do this way also. But let me go to the simplest mode. So I would say edit, and we are willing to change the column, right? So input column is length, and output column is copy of length. I would say fixed length here, fixed length, right? FIXED, fixed length underscore length, and we will change the data type to integer, right? Where is the integer? You should have enough knowledge of the output types, input types, and output types of the SQL Server are different than output columns, types of data types of analysis services and SSIS and all those things. You should actually learn these things, and then you should be able to do these things. But now what we are thinking, we are thinking that it is small integer actually. You see the numbers 4-digit only, right? Though that's fine. You can convert it to 4 byte, or you can convert it to 4 byte unsigned. You can convert it to 2 bytes, right? Or 4 bytes. It's up to you, right? So 2 bytes unsigned integer. Unsigned means there's no plus minus, right? So I will make it 2 bytes unsigned integer. Now, when you say integer in SQL Server, that is equivalent to 4 bytes. So let me make it 4 bytes. Why not? We have 4 bytes in this. So that is 4 byte unsigned integer. So this is good, okay? So when we do this one is okay, right? So when we do this one is okay. And now in our this one, we need to change our mapping, because it is already mapped column to column, right? See, column to column, same. But we have extra column here now because of the conversion, right? No, sorry, data conversion, right? So what I will do is I will drop this one, or from here it is easy, right? Mapping to this side is fixed length, right? See, it went to fixed length, right? Okay. And now we will run it, and this one will be working fine. So data conversion is a problem. We will see what it says here. So we need to see. Okay, so stop it, and this the error. So yeah, we can go to execution, and then we say files cars here information. Total number of data rows processed is 429. Oh, why 429 is data conversion failed when converting length 32 to column fixed. So length 32 to column fixed 6. Okay, so it says that it has data conversion failed. So let me correct it. Maybe I'm mistaking about the data conversion. So I would say that edit and change it to 2 byte length, right? So I got 4 byte is like a very big integer. So 2 byte unsigned integer. So that should be fine now. Okay, let me try it this way. So this time, let me try to do this one again, one more time, and I think it should be good. Now it's good. Now see, 428 rows and 428 rows. These are processed already. Then you remember we did 420 before, so it should be double the rows in the table, right? So when we count, we try to get the count on the command line. It's 856. Now think, this is just for understanding how it works. What is happening? Let me explain to you one more time before we close this session. And the point here is that in the flat file we are reading the data, 428 rows, and then in the data conversion we can pick up any column that we want to work on. We don't have to do all of the columns, right? Or we don't have to do, if there is no column, that's fine. Again, it should let it go. I mean, I'm not sure. Never tried, but it should be okay. So it is passing through, but because we were converting something, and when we are converting something, we are going to leave the original column as it is, but we will create a new column. The new column, converted column, will be given to the database, and that will be inserted into. Now, in this simplest case, database was itself able to fix that conversion itself implicitly, automatically, right? But in many of the cases there are problems, and you need to deal with the problems, right? Then it becomes like transformation. Now this is one data flow. Okay, now on the control flow you have one data flow. You can have two data flows, you can have three data flows, you can have one another task kind of thing, that cleanup, right? Maybe you have one cleanup first and then data flow, then something else, like that. So this is the way ETL works. ETL is a very standardized process across the world, across the universe, wherever IT is being used on the earth, right? So if you say, if you are saying that you know ETL, you don't know the acronym meaning, you know how ETL works, you know that how many components you are supposed to get. Like let us say if one employer wants to hire you for ETL, you should know what he may need in first week or in the beginning. You should know all those things first, right? If you don't know those ones, then you are not suitable for any job, right? So please be careful. try to memorize all the components that you want, and try to understand the process, how the database is being connected, how the data is being transferred, how data is being put into the into the load target where you are loading it, right? So all these things. Thank you very much for your time, and please make sure that you guys give us some feedback so that we can give you some better content. If there are few other things that we are just ignoring, or we are just going missing to explain something, then your comments in the comments section will be uh, will be will be useful for both of us, for our team, and for our viewers. They will be making use of they will be making a good use of our effort, right? So please try to subscribe, share, and like or dislike is up to you, but do something, give some response, and we will be happy to help you guys, right? Thank you very much. See you again in next tutorial for the ETL. We will be going through something similar in the cloud. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye for now.